guess who's back? It's me, and I am on camera with your Divine Love reading for the week of February. What is the date? 13th through the 20th, I'm going to say. It's until Sunday, okay? But I'm also going to start with a kind of a quick review of, I pulled like a 4-card summary of all the stuff that happened last week that, just so you can kind of make sense of what happened. Doing like the full thing doesn't make sense for a week that has already passed, but I also want to help you. I think you're gonna like it. I'll just say that. Okay, but before I get into that, a new February special is, because we are in eclipse season, there are two eclipses. One lunar eclipse, which we just had on Friday, Saturday, and then we also have a solar eclipse. Is that right? It's like when there's a new moon, it's a solar eclipse. I'm not an astrologer. You guys, you can look it up. But there are two eclipses. Both the full moon and the new moon have eclipses this month. And so with those eclipses, this is such good energy for kind of, I like calling them like eclipses will eclipse things out of your life and then also kind of eclipse things into your life. So they can be pretty intense, and because of that, or to like kind of harness the energy. I am so giddy about being on camera again, you guys. Okay, so in order to harness the energy of this eclipse season, my February special is the chakra. It's a chakra by chakra check-in. So it's kind of the last half of a previous special. And so it's a chakra by chakra check-in for both partners. And then it also has an energy clearing. So, using that energy, or it's a chakra clearing. So what that means is I will only be tapping into your energy body. I cannot do it for your partner because I cannot do it without their permission. Okay, so if you purchase that special, you'll get the chakra by chakra for both of you that will kind of illuminate what barriers exist, and then any stuff that I find on your side, I will go ahead and energetically clear as kind of the add-on to that reading. Okay, so information down below, you can go ahead and check that out. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with 4 cards that are kind of the summary, making sense of what happened last week. That would be February 5th through the 12th, 6th through the 12th. Do the numbers really matter? It's the time that I was not here. Okay, so I think you're going to like this. There's a lot of France in here, and I have a new deck, and I'm really excited. Okay, so first card up is Iris, and the keywords on this are rainbows and messages. And then the quote says, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Last week, you guys were probably getting a lot of your signs, synchronicities, and messages. And I know I was, and I was getting really like, okay, what's going on? This is just giving you that heads up, like, yeah, you were seeing all that stuff, and it was purposeful. It wasn't mere coincidence. I know that sometimes when I see some of my signs, I go, yeah, but sometimes that, a flower is just a flower. This card is confirming for you that no, you were seeing all of those things. The other thing, the reason I want to bring up, there are 2 things I want to bring up with this. So the eclipse energy, Iris is named for I think a Roman goddess. She's a goddess. But her job was to escort departed women to the Elysian field. So after their deaths, she would escort them. And so there's a couple things going on here. One of them is if you are a person who has this kind of an ability, okay, you probably already know this, and basically this is a card that's letting you know that you probably leveled up last week. Like if you're a death doula, well, death doula that's more formal, okay? These are people who just know that they have this ability and are being kind of called upon. So this is telling you that you probably leveled up last week. This is also telling you, for the women who are watching, if you identify as a woman, or if you sense about yourself that you're carrying more feminine energy, more feminine forward. This is also telling you that that eclipse last week helped you release a lot of stuff that doesn't belong to you anymore, some old versions of yourself, some old ways that you are or have been relating to love. And so a lot of that stuff got escorted right on out. The other thing, so France, okay, finally I'm arriving at France. The iris is also the flower that inspired the fleur-de-lis. So that's French, but it's also what I got for that was more of the of a New Orleans vibe. So if you are a person who is connected, I know this is going to seem like a really strange way to get there. It's fleur-de-lis, but that pointed me to New Orleans, which was also next pointing me to voodoo. So if you are a person who connects with that spiritual sensibility, then that is also something that is it's significant. They're not giving me a clear message about why that. Just that New Orleans is important, and then France is also important. So if you have plans to meet up in either of those two places, then this is like encouragement about that. So I don't know who that's for. I just know it's for somebody. So there you go. There's your little message. The next, you guys, whatever was going on last week is just really lovely for both partners. The next flower message is Venice Mallow. And the key word here, or the keywords are delicate, fleeting beauty. And then the quote that goes with it is, when life is not coming up roses, look to the weeds and find the beauty hidden within them. And this really feels more like what's been going on with your partner. So they are having, it's like, oh, gosh. Actually, no, you know what? I need to show you the other card so this will make sense. So it says when life is not coming up roses. Well, the next card is red rose. And I was only meaning to pull 3, but 4 came out, so there's a 4th card that we're going to get to. So red rose, and then the keyword here is hidden secrets, and then the quote is 3 things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And I just so love this so much. Okay, so last week, we were getting our signs and epiphanies, and so were they. So, but for them, this is like they finally uncovered a lot of their hidden truths, and they have this moment where they actually may have thought, gosh, I think that partner may have gotten away. For those of you who are in like real separation, like not in contact, that sort of thing, they think or have thought like, oh man, I really messed that up. I think I might have missed out on that. And so this fleeting beauty is kind of pointing toward that sense of like, oh no. But they have this red rose that comes right after it, and it's like they discover their own truth. There's a lot of truth messages going around right now. They find this, it's like clarity. They find some clarity about their own relationship with love, their own relationship to partnership, like partnership in the abstract sense, not necessarily only about you, but like, holy crap, they know that they want big love in their lives, and they also understand that they have to step up if they're going to get it, which is like, wow, like I can feel it. It's really heavy. I'm so giddy, you guys. And I'm having a hard time sorting out if it's just like me being excited to be doing the reading or if it's like the energy that is coming. I'm sure it's both, but yeah, so they are really finding within themselves this thing that they had been trying to push down, like, no, I don't want that. I just, this other way, like where we had this kind of falling away of our old relationship to relationships. So do they. But theirs is like, ours is kind of a deliberate pruning, right? Theirs is a surprise blossom. And it's lovely. So that was something else that was going on for them last week. Now, finally, the last card to kind of give us a sense of everything that transpired last week. We have Dahlia, and the key word is dignity. And the quote says, "A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity." Okay, so this dignity card, this is about, they understand that they have to step up, okay? And you know, anything that they might have been going through. Yeah, I just totally checked my fingernail on the camera. I'm so giddy. Okay. Anything that they might have been like struggling with, things that made them feel foolish, their own foibles, their own weaknesses. It's like they understand that they have to step up. You know what I was saying about they have to step up, and what they know is that they kind of have to like straighten themselves up, straighten their crown, fix their dress, you know, and kind of get going. So last week was really about epiphanies for them, and understanding that that it's time for them to get moving. Now, this is the other French card. Okay, the other one that had some fancy stuff on it. So dahlias, they were brought to Mexico by the Spanish, but they're also known as the Queen of the Autumn Garden because of the Empress Josephine, French. This is Napoleon's Josephine. These were such prized flowers that she tended them herself, and you know, it's like, I love, oh gosh. Okay, so what they're saying is like all of this epiphany that they're having about like, oh man, I think I might have missed that boat. They're like, well, maybe I can swim out to it. Maybe I can make another boat. Like they're not letting this go. And they're fixing their crown, they're straightening their dress, they're tending their dahlias. And so there's a couple things here. So this is, again, the Queen of the Fall, or the Queen of the Autumn. And so a couple things with this about timing. So anything that might have gone down in the fall between you, that's kind of coming back around again. And so the second meaning, this is not like you have to wait all the way until the coming fall, unless you're in the southern hemisphere. I think you might be in it right now. No, you'd be coming into spring, right? Oh my gosh, just don't mind me. All right, so anyway, this isn't really necessarily about fall, like having to wait in terms of timing, but this is dahlias outlast lots of other, like all the other flowers. Most flowers, when we think, when we're thinking of flowers, it's all spring blooms, spring, summer, but dahlias last and last and last. And this is about, the kinds of changes, and we've been talking about this for all these readings. It's like the kinds of changes they're making, this stuff that they're doing. They're like, I am in this for the long haul. This thing, this love, this big love that I want, it's the kind that lasts a long time. And if I'm going to get that, then I need to really get myself together. And that's that was their big epiphany last week. And, if you're watching this, you are probably energetically, a few steps ahead of your partner. And so that, not the Venus mallow, the iris, this was the stuff that we did in our eclipse energy, was just like letting go of the old ideas. It's really not even the old ideas, because cognitively we all kind of knew already, but it's like whatever you did last week energetically kind of swept things out, and you can really be confident about your own lasting changes. Okay, so now let's get into the cards for this week. Where do I want to start? We'll start with our side. So the energies surrounding us for the coming week, we have the Wheel And actually, you know, the kind of the big message for us this week is like, now we just got to kind of wait things out, and just kind of keep moving. You know, it's like, here's this wheel where things will keep turning. There's a lot going on their side that you're gonna like. So there's a lot going on their side, and our job really is just to keep things moving. It might feel like we're kind of on this merry-go-round and nothing's going, but there is movement, and we just kind of have to. And you'll see, like all of our cards on our side really are like, yeah, you just got to keep on putting one foot in front of the other, even though it feels like you're not getting anywhere. You are, believe me. All right, pulling us out of alignment with divine love is this Five of Deserts, and this is doubt. This is doubt and skepticism because things feel like they're not moving. And you know, my guides just came in. They're like, we gave you all those signs. They're saying, like, we gave you all the signs. Stuff is moving. And it's like, when you doubt, that's what pulls you out of alignment. You don't need to, you know, this is a time where it feels like everybody needs to be doing stuff. Like, if I'm not doing something, if I'm not worrying, if I'm not, you know, then I'm not doing my part. And it's like, no, you've done your part. You planted the bulbs, let them grow. Like, let them have that overwinter germination time, you know? So get out of fear, get out of doubt. Fear pushes love right on out, and fear is what drives doubt. So, and so they want me to show you. It's this. Like, here's your guides going, yes, it's coming, it's coming. They're kind of tired of you asking. And then here's us going, yeah, are you sure? But are you sure? It's kind of silly. So knock it off is what they're saying. Just be in that really deep knowing, that big, deep trust that big love's coming. And because you've planted you've planted everything. So, all right, now drawing us into alignment with divine love is, okay, I love this. This is the Emperor. They have a very similar energy on their side. But usually the Emperor is like a really big stern energy, and that's not what this one is. This is actually about the statue. Like, just be still. And if you don't be still, we're going to force you into this casing so that you just knock it off already. There's nothing to be done here on our side, which feels really uncomfortable. I mean, nothing to be done on our side besides, like, just, you know, tending our own garden, making ourselves the best us we can be. There's nothing, there's nothing that's really, we don't need to be sending them anything, you know, like, we don't need to be reaching out. We don't need to be, like, in a lot of ways, there's one little thing in here that's a little bit manifesty, but we are our own tulip bulb that is under the soil right now, just waiting for spring. That's the timeline. I mean, insofar as there is one, it's just like, there's nothing to be done right now. Just be calm, be still. And this actually, I mean, when you think about an emperor, emperors don't go rushing around, you know, they're stoic, they're calm, they're measured. And, when leaders are kind of frantic and reactive and all of that, it's like, they're not in control, you know? Reactive leaders are not in control. It's the ones who can be measured, who can, you know, like, observe, like, kind of take in the scene and go, yeah, we don't need to be knee-jerk reacting right now. What we need is some calm, some stillness, and measured action. Okay, so the masculine and feminine energies guiding us. It's been a little while, so I'll do the explanation of this. There are readers who, you know, like, assign one side to be the feminine, the other side to be the masculine, and they kind of read those energies off of each other. The way I read is more about, like, everybody has masculine and feminine within them, and it's about bringing masculine and feminine into some kind of balance. And as we are moving through kind of on this journey, the different aspects of the masculine and feminine will be guiding each partner at various points in time. So our masculine energy is Hypnos, and his keyword is sleep. Do you see what I'm saying about, like, we don't need to be doing anything? And then the feminine energy is Athena, and her keyword is strategy. This is not a time for us to be rushing around. And actually, if there is anything to be done here, it is to be paying attention to your dreams, because they're saying, like, they're not going to stop giving you these messages, the rainbows, the signs, that's not going to stop. Your guides, I'm saying. And a really important, fertile place for them to be able to give you a lot of these signs is in your sleep. Okay, so it's during that dream time. This is also a time where, if you're out of contact with each other, the dream state is another place where you'll be meeting up. So it's important that you carve out space for that. I can tell you, I mean, if for those of you who ordered readings last month, I mean, oh boy. And you noticed already that I've been off camera for a couple weeks. I'm a teacher and I'm teaching an overload, and so things are crazy. Plus, I had a lot of personal stuff go on too. With my dog died. So anyway, thank you for those of you who had ordered readings and were affected by that. But it's like I was so ragged, trying to keep up with everything and get everything, because like 3 of the classes got dropped on me at the last second, or 2 of them, excuse me, got dropped on me at the last second. So it was like I was constantly playing catch up for a couple of weeks on top of my grief. And I was getting up at 5 a.m. and staying up until 1, just trying to kind of stay up on things. And I didn't have enough time to even be connecting, like I couldn't get between my grief and just being worn out. I could not get a good channel to do readings. And so all of that to say, this is also about carving out that space. Your sleep is really important, not just for your health. You know what I mean? Not just for this, really. It's like for your health is the first priority. And then only when you are in like a really rested, kind of healthy space will you be able to be getting the messages that you need to from your guides and from your partner in the energetic realm. And so then here's Athena with that strategy, which is very much this energy. Okay, this is like, no, we'll just stay back. We don't need to be acting right now. What we need to do is take a long view. And so not this one, excuse me. Oh, yes, the iris energy. So this had both the sign and synchronicity energy in it, but it also had that, that energy of like stuff that we let go, like those old thought patterns and things. Like it was like we did some of that strategizing about how am I supposed to be in these relationships if I'm holding on to this fear, this hang up. I can't, so I need to let that go, right? And in order to like on our side, be in the energy of like what our side needs to look like in the divine love partnership. Okay, so yeah, like our side is all just kick back, which is kind of nice, because there's been so much chaotic energy for the last month. Okay, now moving on to our counterpart side. Gonna like this. Okay, so this is the energy currently surrounding them. It's the 2 of forests. Here are these 2 fuzzy little mushrooms that are cuddling up to one another, and this is very much in line with these 2 cards. This is continued energy from the epiphany they had last week. So they understand, they understand that there is a possibility for love to emerge out of the decomposing forest floor. So that would have been, that Venice Mallow where they thought, oh shoot, did I mess that up? Has that ship sailed? Is that garden dead? And they're like, nope, there's still something. And look at them. Okay, I'm gonna totally bring this up to the camera. Look how fuzzy and cute they are. They have a fuzzy relationship to this idea. They feel warm and fuzzy. They don't feel afraid. They don't feel like chaos and mayhem about love, which is kind of nice, isn't it? Because we're all like, it's about time. Their guides are like, it's about time. All right, so yeah, what a great way to come back to camera, right? All right, so let's move on to what's actually pulling them out of alignment, which is it's the Three of Farms. This is them kind of chasing. This is achievement and work realm stuff, but this is, gosh, it's like they've got all these seeds and they just keep on, spreading them everywhere instead of kind of focusing, which is what actually draws them into alignment. It's like they're trying, when they get to this space of, oh, I got to step it up. Oh gosh, I really want that big love. I got to step it up. It's like they don't, then they try to fix everything at once. It's like, okay, you can't crash diet and like binge exercise and do all, you can't do that because none of it will stick and you'll run yourself into the ground. And, so that's, they go a little bit kind of manic energy on like, I gotta fix it all. And it's like, no, just do the one thing and focus, which is actually the thing that draws them into alignment. The King of, like, talk about focus, right? Here's a golden eagle, and this is the King of Skies. This corresponds to the King of Swords in traditional tarot. And actually, I need to explain, they just want me to come back to this. So this is a deck that I designed, and you can get it on my website if you want. Okay, commercial over. All right, so this has 2 earth suits in it. So it's got this deck, traditional tarot only has 4 suits. My deck has 5. And this is earth energy that is feral earth energy. So this, like, we forget a lot of times that as humans, we are still animals and we still have kind of a feral wildness to us. And that's what the forest energy is. It's a groundedness that is not hampered by culture and society and rules, okay? So when your partner kind of is in this energy, it's like, it's so fully natural and organic that it's not because they've convinced themselves like they should or anything. It just is being. And this is beautiful. Like I feel like this is a better energy, like in terms of like paired up energies than the Two of Cups, than the Lovers. Well, the Lovers has a different thing, but this is just so natural and so outside of rules and expectations. This is really a beautiful card, okay? And then Farms is the other earth energy, but Farms is when humans kind of get in there and kind of wrangle the natural world. For farming, you have to work with nature. You can't, if you try to work against nature, nature will womp on your butt real quick. But farming is about, it's still working with in collaboration. It's about collaborating with nature, but it's still also about, kind of our work world. The humans are definitely, there's the human hand and like having rows in the farm and fences and things like that. That's like the human order, the rules and imposition that we put on things. So just to give you some clarity about that, it's like this is about them they're trying to chase expectation. And that really does draw them out of alignment. So here we come back now to this King of Skies. And this is them, again, like drawing them into alignment is when they get some laser focus and they are very cognitively aware, okay, of what they're doing. So here is kind of the animal instinct in them. It's like, and this is all green, heart chakra. It's their heart that they cannot deny. It's this love that they cannot deny. And then when they focus their energy on like, okay, so I guess I'm going after it. Like that kind of conscious awareness of their own and wrangling and like kind of pulling in their own wildness to go after it is what's happening in this card. And what I really like is these actually are 2 very similar energies. So this was our energy bringing us into alignment, and then this is their energy bringing them into alignment. And both of them are, these are big masculine, like super intense masculine energies. And one of them is, again, this is like, it's action, but in the state that we're seeing this eagle, it's in the strategizing state, okay, or in that stage. So they're doing some planning on their side, which is why it might feel like maybe nothing's happening, okay? But there is, let me tell you, because guess what happens next? Okay, no, so, all right, their masculine and feminine energies. I love it. So their feminine energy is Vesta, and her keyword is home. The temple that's built for her, in her honor, is in kind of the center of the city, and it's about the hearth. The fireplace is the hearth, the heart of the home. And so they're coming back to their own heart, and and it's a place that feels like home to them. That is probably the most important development from in the last probably 2 months of work that we've been kind of, whatever they've been doing. This is probably the biggest, most important thing that they needed to do that they're finally doing. And their masculine energy is Osiris, and his keyword is renewal. And it's like they have this renewed sense of home within themselves, within their own heart. This is also, almost quite literally about them like getting their home in order. That's what it feels like. If they haven't moved recently, then this is actually just about them like kind of tending to their environment, their immediate home space. And oh gosh, this is what they just said, and readying it for a partner to share it with them. Whoa, you guys, whoa. I'm so giddy. Their energy is so, I'm sure this is a combination of like the energy and me being a lunatic, but let's just say like this is lovely. This is stuff that, they're doing all of that on their own, over wherever they're at, they're getting their home ready. They understand like, oh, I got to start tending my garden. I love, oh, you guys, these cards. I've known that they were going to come out for like a couple months. And so they finally arrived. I'm like, ee. So anyway, sorry, I'm super giddy. So this is really renewing the home, their renewed sense of feeling at home within their own heart. This is what we've been waiting for. And as if, just to emphasize, the energy of the union, I usually only pull one card. Two came out, or two flipped out, like they flipped onto the floor. So gateway, and this feels like, that full moon eclipse energy. This is the week where they're like fully, like the union is like committing to like really being on the other side of that, like moving through the gateway. Okay, so all that old stuff, all the old business, anything that maybe happened last fall, gone, it's out, you're done with it, okay? Because there is big new stuff, like, we've shed our old crappy ideas. We are in that stage of like the new growth coming out of that decomposing forest floor. And that's the other card, which is love, love, love. Oh man. And actually I haven't recorded the audio on the monthly reading yet, but when you see it, this is an echo of that energy. Both sides are doing so. Okay, they're wanting me to point out color. So we've got a lot of orange and red here, which is root and sacral chakra. The image here is the feminine in the form of a tree. Again, that root chakra, but also this is all sexual energy, and this is about reconnecting, and you'll see it in the monthly, reconnecting the heart and sacral chakras, because kind of when humans get a hold of stuff, we really tell ourselves some crap stories, and so physical, sensual intimacy that is. that is held in the sacral chakra. When that's out of balance, that can turn into a really kind of base, disconnected physical, I don't even like coupling. I don't know how to else to say it besides like just coupling without any of the emotional part, without any of the spiritual part. It's just two bodies, one part going into the other one, or like the body parts just connected to each other, but no other connections happening. And so this card is really, I love it. It's like all of those, it's that sacral energy with the addition of that love energy, also reconnecting, it's like the communication between the heart and the sacral. And what I think is interesting in that, gosh, I don't want to spoil that reading, but what's interesting is like, so the yellow is here, but the yellow of the solar plexus chakra that governs our confidence and will and fear is skipped over in some ways in the monthly reading. And so what I think is interesting there is like, it's like you've already solved the problem about feeling comfortable enough in your own body to be like physically and emotionally naked with another person. And actually it's like about being physically naked with another person. And so now the task of February and kind of this moon to the next moon is to reconnect the heart and feel confident and safe being emotionally naked with another person. Whoa, yeah. So that's the energy of where things are at right now. And almost, so usually at the end I'll pull an advice card, and because I've got them a new deck, I'm pulled from the garden. The deck is called Botanical Inspirations, and you can order it from US Games. So I'm really liking, because if you hadn't been paying attention the last couple readings, it's been a lot of like Empress energy, tend your garden energy, that kind of stuff. And so the advice card is like, what do we plant in our garden this month, or what's growing in the garden this week, excuse me. Well, this month too. And so the flower is anemone, and and the key word is anticipation. And it's like, no kidding, right? So it says, the quote, excuse me, just like kind of went away there. I felt like an arrow pulled back and ready to be launched into something big. What a quote for what's going on here, right? I can feel this. I can feel things moving. It doesn't look like anything's happening, but you probably can feel the energy ramping up a little bit too, which is really why it's so important to be kind of in that restful state. And you know what I think is interesting is this, like all this, like these two about rest and sleep. It's not the Four of Skies. It's not the Four of Swords. Like that's legit. Like go cool it. Go sit in the corner and don't do anything. Just be still. This is like, no, bide your time. Get ready because something's about to happen and you're going to need your rest. So, wow, you know what else they want to show me is this isn't a poppy, but it looks so much like a poppy. This looks like poppies, and I don't actually know enough about flowers to say legit whether or not this is a poppy, but it looks like one to me. Okay, so regardless, it doesn't matter because the way I read, they're showing me this as a poppy, which means what I'm supposed to tell you is, that poem about the flowers in Flanders Field. It's about poppies growing up out of this battlefield, and that's very much in line with this energy. It's an echo of that energy, and they're saying like, there's been quite a bit of chaos and whatever might have happened that made them feel like, oh, I think that ship sailed. And maybe for you even made you feel like, oh, maybe this is done, like super dunzo. they're saying like, no, flowers grow. There's always room for new growth. And you know what, for some of you, the partner that you thought was this divine love partner, they might be eclipsing out of your life. And not because there wasn't a divine connection with them, but again, because we have free will and there's all of these other factors, they might have made a free will choice that isn't stepping up in this way, where they turn their back on that. And what's happening is, and I know that can be disappointing, but what's happening with this eclipse, if that's the case, if they figure out that they're not going to step up, is they're getting out of that seat and making room for someone who is in the same vibration as you, who's ready to be doing this. Okay, like, man, yeah, life is hard, times are tough, but gosh, I'm gonna keep moving. I still deserve love, and I might not be where I know I'm trying to get to, like what I know I want for myself. I might not be there yet, but it doesn't mean that I don't deserve love now. And that's the thing that all of us, that's a nice mantra for all of us. Even if I'm not, in my, God, what am I trying to say here? It's like, even if I'm not like my best version of myself, like the whatever goals I have for myself, even if I'm not there yet, even if I'm not in my, not perfection, but like in my highest form, it doesn't mean that I don't deserve love now, on the way. Someone who wants to support me in that, and also still loves me in the place where I am now, and wants to walk with me from here to there, you know? All right, you guys, that does it for this week's reading, and I will see you again next week. Remember, down below, there's that February special, and I'm so glad to be back. Nice to see you all again. See you soon. Bye.